Hi, I'm Brian Hickok with Platinum Adventure Vacations. On this week's video, we're going to discuss Hawaii. So in this week's video will be the first in a series of videos about Hawaii. Today's video will discuss general information about the state of Hawaii. Just so everybody's aware, I just recently became certified Hawaiian expert, meaning that I took a class through the Tourism Authority of Hawaii and I was able to pass the test to become certified. What this means for you is that you're working with somebody who has very good knowledge of Hawaii as far as planning your vacation and things you can do there, your stays, information about each individual island that you can stay on and all that. So it lets you know that I'm a person you can work with and can trust that I'm giving you good information. So some facts about Hawaii. The state of Hawaii is made up of several islands, only 6 of which you can stay on. The 6 islands that you can stay on is Kauai, Oahu, Molokai, Lanai, and Maui, island of Hawaii, which is also known as Big Island. So those are islands you can stay on. The islands are thought to be atop of the mountain that sits below the ocean. If that mountain were at sea level, the highest point on Hawaii would be over 30,000 feet high. So if you think about it, most airplanes when they're flying, they fly between 25 to 30,000, and I'm talking about passengers, just 30,000 feet in the air. So it kind of gives you some perspective of how high that really is. It's pretty darn high. The main airport in Hawaii is Daniel K. Inouye, and I probably said that wrong, International Airport, located on Oahu. Although there are direct flights from the mainland to Maui, Kauai, and Hawaiian Island, you can also take connecting flights to the neighboring island via Oahu. Traveling between islands is possible either by plane or boat. The flights generally are less than 30 minutes between the islands. Which is nice about that is that you can stay on one island, you can island hop and visit the other islands fairly easily. So, either be by boat or plane. If you go by boat, obviously it takes a little bit longer. It can be, a couple hours or whatever between islands. So just something to keep in mind. It is highly recommended that you rent a car for your stay in Hawaii. There are taxis, there is public transportation. However, with the amount of driving between places, it would be recommended to have a car. Only because it can be expensive as far as taxis. The public transportation, you are having to wait at bus stops, things like that. And you could be, there's a lot of wait time. So, I would definitely say rent a car if you can. And the nice thing is, because Hawaii is a U.S. state, it's got the same traffic laws as the mainland for the most part. Like every state, they do have, their own local laws. But for the most part, it's going to be the same as if you were driving in the U.S. The signage, the road markings, all that stuff is the same. You're driving on the same side as you would over here in the mainland. So it's not a big deal to rent a car and drive over there. You'll find that the road conditions are pretty decent. The roads are pretty decent. So the weather in Hawaii is very consistent with minor changes in temperature throughout the year. There are only really 2 seasons in Hawaii, unlike the rest of the U.S. where you have spring, autumn, or fall, summer, winter. In Hawaii, you really only have summer and winter. So summertime, also known as Kauau in Hawaiian, runs from May to October. Average daytime temperatures is around 85 degrees. Wintertime is called Huio in Hawaiian. I probably pronounced it wrong. It runs from November to April, and the average daytime temperature during the wintertime is about 78 degrees. So not much difference, a little different, but not much. So a little bit nice, I suppose. It's not going to be like up north or even in Florida where there could be, a lot colder. However, I will say in the higher elevations, they do actually get snow in the mountains in Hawaii. So just something to keep in mind. If you're someplace where you're going to go up in the mountains, you'll definitely want to have maybe a little bit heavier jacket if you're going to go up in the mountains, because it will be a lot cooler than down in the mainland. The water conditions in Hawaii is, let's see, the temperatures are 74 degrees with a summer high of 80 degrees as far as water. The wave action varies a lot between island coasts and seasons. The waves in the summertime tend to be a little bit gentler. During the wintertime, on many of the North Shore beaches, this is why I say it's different between island coast and seasons. On the north side beaches and the Pacific storms bring on holy cow, I just totally messed it up. During the winter, on many of the North Shore beaches, the Pacific storms bring on the legendary big waves. So these are the waves you see on TV where the surfers are, they're surfing underneath these huge waves, right? That's when it happens during that time. So just something to keep, in mind. If you're, maybe you don't want those big waves, summertime is a good time to go. If you're looking for that, you want to see those big waves, then, wintertime is the time to go. You do need to be aware of strong currents when going to the beach. You should definitely check with your hotel staff or the lifeguards, if there's lifeguards at the beach, about the beach conditions. Also, just, keep an eye out for warning flags as well as posted beach conditions. And this is an important thing. Here in Florida, and I think it's the same thing in Hawaii, you have what's called rip currents. Rip currents can be very dangerous. On the surface, it doesn't look like anything. You see waves coming in, it seems normal, but underneath, the water's pulling you back out. And so there's been cases where people are on a beach and they get pulled out to, out in the Gulf or the ocean. So, you need to be aware of that, and they will post those conditions, out there so you're aware. But just be mindful, that's all. I'm not saying don't go to the beach. I'm just saying be aware. That's all. So just something to keep in mind. Rainfall, most of the rainfall happens on the northeastern side of the islands. The wettest months are generally November to March. However, the rainstorms tend to be localized, so if it's raining, you can generally find another area close by that is sunny. Kind of reminds me of Florida. Like in Florida, it literally can be raining in your backyard and sunny in your front yard. It's just the way it is. I don't know if Hawaii is that extreme, but just know that if it's raining, it's not going to ruin your day. You can probably drive someplace and find a sunny area. So don't let it ruin your day. Trade winds, which are these are winds that were named once. Oh, geez, I am not with it today. These are winds that once carried ships around the globe. So that's why they're called trade winds. The breezes keep the island weather just right during most of the season. The trade winds can become pretty gusty and dangerous on occasions, so just be mindful of that. The winds are less frequent during January through March, but it's also when it's more humid. So when the winds go down, it gets more humid. When the winds are up, it's less humid. So just something to keep in mind. This is also known as Kona weather, the winds I'm talking about. The Kona winds is the local term for stormy, rain-bearing winds. Under extreme conditions, like I said, the winds can cause extensive damage. So just keep an eye out on the weather. Just be mindful of what's going on. The other thing you need to be aware of is fog. Fog is the local term for volcanic fog. This is caused by sulfuric dioxide and other gases that are released from volcanoes. The one, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the volcano, but it's located on Hawaii Island. Under extreme conditions, the winds can carry the fumes over the rest of the islands. The winds can be hazardous to plants, animals, and humans. Some of the symptoms caused by this is headaches, watery eyes, trouble breathing. So if you're somebody who's asthmatic or have breathing issues as it is, just be aware of that. Not all hazy conditions are fog. So just because it's hazy out, don't automatically think that you're going to go out and it's going to be fog. You can check with locals and they can kind of let you know what's going on. But, don't let just because you see some hazy conditions, don't let that ruin your day. Because like I said, it may not even be the volcanic stuff. What should you wear in Hawaii? So business aloha is a term that refers to the downtown Honolulu look. It is appropriate for business functions and finer restaurants. For men, it's a aloha shirt, casual button-down shirt or collar shirt is what that is. Slacks or dress shoes. Women, it's kind of what you would wear for a business meeting. Just something nice. Outdoor wear, if you're looking for hiking and especially clothing, make sure you buy that stuff before you come to Hawaii. It's not something that's readily available, so you're not going to find hiking clothing and especially stuff like that in Hawaii. So just be mindful of that. You want to make sure you have that stuff before you come there. They can be very limited on islands. Ocean activities. If you're on a boat, make sure, or even at the beach, make sure you're wearing sun protection. Make sure you bring sun protection and sunscreen. It's very important. The sun, you don't realize it when you're out there. Between the water and the sun, it just reflects back on you, and you'll definitely catch a sunburn if you're not wearing sunscreen and stuff. So just be mindful of that. Also, if you're doing ocean activities, either be on a boat or whatever, make sure you bring a light jacket with you for wind and light rain. Swimsuits are readily available in Hawaii, so if you didn't bring a swimsuit, don't stress out. You'll find some place to buy a swimsuit. Not a big deal. Scuba suits and gear can be rented in Hawaii, so you don't need it. If you're somebody's going there for scuba diving, you don't need to drag all your gear with you. You can rent gear in Hawaii. It's pretty readily available. If you're going for golfing, many of the golf private courses do have a dress code. Collared shirt, dress shorts or slacks, no denim, no cargo shorts or sports shorts like the basketball shorts. When in doubt, contact the pro shop. They'll let you know. However, the municipal courses do not have any dress code requirements. For the most part, there may be some exceptions to that, but for the most part, they do not have requirements as far as golfing. The language, there's two official languages in Hawaii. You got English and you got Hawaiian. The Hawaiian language is a Polynesian dialect. There's only 13 letters. Vowels, I'm going to go over the vowels. So you have A is pronounced as ah, like saw. E is A, like say. I is E, like see. O is O, like so. And then U is U, like soon. Few words you should know. Aloha is a greeting with love, hello, goodbye, and more. Aloha is not like, you go up to somebody and you say hello. Like, there's meaning to aloha for local people. There's a meaning to that. Hulu is a traditional Hawaiian dance. I think most people know what that is. where are we at here? Mahalo is thank you. Lei is a flower garland given for an occasion. A lot of times you'll see this when you come off your plane out to or in the airport. They'll be given leis. Just know that like a legitimate Hawaiian lei is not the plastic flower stuff. It's like legitimately made up of real plants. So that's like a real lei. Like the leis you see at like Party City or something like that, those are not a traditional lei that you would see in Hawaii. So Wahai is women, kana is man, kiki is child, ohana is family, ono is delicious, pau is finish. So those are just some words you should know. And I'm going to put these up on the screen so you can see how they are and hopefully pronounce them a little bit better than I did. Admittedly, my Hawaiian language is not very good. Another thing, just be mindful, Hawaii is 5 hours behind Eastern Standard Time, 2 hours behind Pacific Standard Time. So just something to keep in mind if you're flying from the East Coast, they're 5 hours behind. That becomes important with flights because you'll notice that you'll get out there early, but then coming back, most of your flights are overnight flights. It's just the way it is because of the time difference. Hawaii does not observe daylight saving time, so you need to add an additional hour during that time, which is March through November. So just be mindful of that. Additional information, I'm going to put this stuff up on the video as well. I'll put this information. I'll probably put links in the description as well, I think. But Hawaii travel tips, I'm going to put a web page for that. Information for travelers with disability, I'll have a website. They'll have information on that. And then I'll put some useful phone numbers that for Hawaii, which will include Hawaii International Airport, Hawaii International Airport visitor information, which is a different number, but it's airport. I'll put some information on there, a number for marriage license information, passport information, and weather information. You do not have to have a passport to travel to Hawaii, obviously, because you're traveling from U.S. to U.S. territory, so it does not require a passport, but I'll have those numbers up there maybe for people who are flying internationally. So, like I said, I'll have that information on the video as well as in the description, so it's there so you can click on it and whatnot. And that's pretty much it as far as the general information about Hawaii. In next week's video, I'll continue the Hawaii series by talking about the individual islands. We'll start with Kauai. And basically I'm going to try to give you information just related to Kauai and stuff, and different things you can see there and whatnot. So hopefully it'll be a good video for you guys. What else? So if you have any questions about this video or about Hawaii, if you're planning a trip to Hawaii, any of that kind of stuff, definitely contact me. You can email me at info@platinumadventurevacations.com. You can always call me or text me at area code 239-910-3101. And you can visit my website at platinumadventurevacations.com. And what else can I tell you? Well, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my video. That helps me to know that you guys you like what you see. You can comment if there's something else you'd like to see, if there's other videos or information you'd like me to put up there. I'm open to pretty much anything as far as travel stuff. I enjoy doing the videos. I enjoy putting them up there for you guys. I know it's been a little bit since I put a video up, but there was just a lot of stuff going on between Valentine's Day and I was sick for a few days, so I just finally got to a point where I could do this. So, and I'm trying to do, better the videos by, purchasing and changing how I do them. So hopefully as I continue to do this, things will get better. Sometimes, it gets a little messy, but I try to get the information out to you guys in a way that it's understood and whatnot. So like I said, comment, let me know what you think. Let me know if there's other things you'd like to see. Like I said, it helps me kind of steer where we're going with this. So again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.